I'm writing from the Bay Area in California, and I'm concerned about the health of the entire state with insurers non-renewing and running out of the state.
It's by far the best way to validate something, right? And we tested this, for example.
Okay, so explain to people how you monetize Instagram.
So there's multiple ways, right? So
that's how you do it.
There you go.
That's how you do it.
We just solved that problem.
There you go.
I think it's a great idea.
All right. So welcome back. We took a couple weeks off because I went on vacation to Yellowstone, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
Nope.
Oh, what a great place, dude. Yellowstone was spectacular. Actually, did you hear about the explosion out there? You hear about this?
No.
So, there's Old Faithful and all those other places,
Oh,
right?
you mean the geyser?
Yeah, one of the geysers
Yeah.
that hadn't exploded since 2009. But it was really bad. It was like really powerful explosion. We saw the videos on it. We were there at that spot about 2 hours before it happened. And when it happened, we were only 30 minutes away.
Nice.
We obviously saw it on our phones, on the news feeds and such. But it was crazy that happened. There are so many amazing places out there. It's absolutely gorgeous. I know you're from Iceland. You're like, what do I care? I see that stuff every day.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like,
I think Yellowstone's bigger than Iceland.
The geyser?
No, the Yellowstone, the park.
Yeah, the park.
The park is enormous.
Yeah.
So you might want to check it out one day. I recommend it to you and your family.
The geysers out there are still named after our geyser.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How so?
That's the name of our geyser.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
Every geyser in the world is named after ours.
I didn't know that.
There you go.
Well, there you go. All right, so getting into it, let's see. How to become a millionaire investing in a pizza machine.
This doesn't seem like a question. This seems like someone selling something.
You think let's find out.
Oh.
Yep, it's a sell. He's selling something.
Yep.
Okay. Don't sell things on business ideas. Business ideas is no, it's not. It's supposed to be, hey, here's an idea that I have. What do you think? This isn't for sales.
This might be an idea for someone.
A pizza machine?
Yeah.
Well, if you had the idea of making a pizza machine, I can see that. But if you have one that's already made and you want to sell it to people, I don't think business ideas is the place for it. If you want to reply to somebody who says, hey, I'm looking for ideas, maybe. But
pizza machine?
Pizza machine. All right, let's see. Bathroom matches. Okay, that sounds better.
Scented matches for the bathroom.
OKBit3343 says, please rate my idea. You got it. Name says it all. Scented matches specifically for the bathroom. One-time purchase of a stylish match holder that you keep in your bathroom, and then a monthly subscription so you never run out. Fun limited edition scents and collabs. I love it. I think it could be a good opportunity to create a really fun brand. It could be a high margin product. I would see it ultimately turning into more of a full home goods brand. And then he puts a link to what his vision is like. I think that's kind of cool.
It is.
That's a neat idea.
It's like the poopery spray that they did, right?
The poopery. Well, you have the spray, and then you have the drop, the tablets that you drop into the toilet.
Oh, they make those now too?
You drop it in the toilet before. So you spray or drop it in before you go.
Yeah,
and you have a good time.
I just know I saw the spray one day on my shelf, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
But yeah, and their brand story is actually really cool.
I like the idea of you have a unique type of holder, something that's stylish, right?
I mean, this is a good idea.
It's like incense?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, why not do that? Why not make a mini incense instead?
Well, because incense takes hours to burn.
No, make a mini one that takes...
Oh, one that just goes on for like a few minutes or whatever.
Takes a minute.
You know why? Honestly, because a lot of people have trouble breathing. When I know quite a few people that have trouble breathing in it when there's a lot of incense around. Yeah, it really can.
Look, if you have to light an incense after being in the bathroom,
you've done something wrong.
You probably do not want to be in
whatever
there.
You just ate,
right? And you don't want to be in there.
It's like what in Dumb and Dumber? Do not go in there.
Oh no, Ace Ventura.
Oh, it's Ace Ventura.
Yep.
That's right. It's Ace Ventura. So yeah, I think it's a really cool idea though. I love the idea of monthly subscription is key. That is, if you got to get this to retail outlets, it's going to take you a long time. But if you do a monthly subscription, people buy the holder, and then things just come to their door for $1.99, $2.99, whatever it is. They won't even think about it, and they'll just get it every month.
Yep.
And you got to make it real easy for them to use too. I wouldn't try to find a way where you don't need a lighter or something like that. Because if you need a third piece of equipment,
you can do a self-strike match.
Yeah, say some type of match, or maybe something. Maybe the holder itself right? You put the thing in. It doesn't even have to be a match or like a long match. It could be like a tab or something. You put it in the holder, push the holder, and it lights or something, right? Something to make everybody's job easy.
Self-strike match. All you need is a slightly rough surface, which you can put on the holder.
Yeah, but how many times? You smoke cigars and such. How many times have you taken a pack of 20 matches and all 20 of them have struck? It doesn't happen very often, from what I remember. It's I don't smoke, but I remember like starting fires and things like that. Campfires, not like arson.
No, I would assume.
and I'd probably go through 3 or 4 matches before they work.
It's probably because they've been sitting somewhere and the
possible.
humidity got to them.
Yeah, it's probably
if you're leaving them inside in a bathroom, humidity levels shouldn't be an issue. So if you're going through it in 20 days or 30 days, it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. So, I like the idea, though. I think it's really cool.
And even if it is, so you're going to send back one match because it didn't
you're not sending it back. You just want them to work.
Right. I get it.
Well, when you want them to work, you want them to work, right? You're not using them every time you go to the toilet, but when those times come that you need them to work, you need them to work.
But this
really cool idea. OKBit 3343. I like that a lot. Good luck with that. I'll definitely look out for that one. Before we keep going, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
Oh, and the like button. The like button's our friend.
The like button is our friend. Yes, we do like the like button. So please hit that too.
And thanks for the support. Let's keep it moving.
All right, let's see. Rate my business idea. You got it. All right, this is from Plus Economics 1021. Main concept: find a local chef who is willing to cook homemade and healthy food at a good price so you can save your time. Chefs, they can have their own dishes, can have a specific theme for food, for example, pasta if that's their specialty, have a menu of what they're best at, can also discuss with the customer about what specifically they should be making, must be approved by the app to ensure they're good enough to make delicious, good and healthy food. They have to have a profile. In the profile, they have information about themselves, biography, background, etc., etc. Very important that they also have ratings so customers can know how good they are. In their descriptions, they can list their degrees, etc., etc. Everything gets paid through the app. And then it just goes on more a little bit about how the app should work. Okay, so basically it's an app for getting local chefs to come to your house and cook for you.
Or get it delivered.
Or get it delivered, right. Maybe the chef cooks at their house and then delivers it to you.
So that's a problem right away.
Okay, go ahead.
You aren't allowed to cook commercially served food.
Right, without a license.
Or a non-approved kitchen.
Oh, that's right. The kitchen needs to be inspected by L&I, right?
Correct. So, like the idea.
Well, wait, a chef could come to your house, though, and cook in your home.
Correct. So if that's what it is, that's basically home cooking, right?
Yeah.
Or what do they call that?
Well, people have private chefs come to their houses all the time.
Yeah. So it's basically get a private
like
chef.
you and I have a good friend, Steve Service, right?
Yeah.
And his service catering, they do that.
Yeah.
They come to your house and cook your food. And It's supposed to be spectacular from what I hear.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
But so if that's the case, then you could absolutely match private chefs with stunning nights out or like get them to come to your house. But cooking them in their house and then delivering it is probably...
Okay, so put that aside.
It's going to be a no-go.
So then just assume then, because you're right, you need if you're going to cook outside of someone's home, you need to have an L&I inspection on your kitchen, yada, yada, yada. So let's just go...
proper licenses and insurance.
Right. So just go through it's in the person's home. The person says they're on their phone and they say, all right, I feel like Mexican tonight. Where's a good Mexican chef in the area? Boom, boom, boom. All right, come to my house at 6:30 and blah, blah, blah for 7 people or whatever it is. And the chef brings all the ingredients and cooks it. That's a pretty cool idea. I like that.
It is.
I don't think anything like... I haven't heard of anything like that out there.
I haven't either.
Yeah. If you haven't heard of it, it doesn't exist. I know.
There you go. But no, I think it's a good idea.
Cool
I come from a culinary background, and we used to get rented out all the time for like special events.
Right.
Where it was kind of catering, but we were cooking on site. We did a lot of work for the Masons. They used to...
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because our restaurant was literally across the street. They had a full, industrial kitchen inside their building.
Right.
So we would literally order all the ingredients needed for the week, have it delivered to the restaurant. Then we'd walk all the stuff across the
There
street,
you go.
and then we'd cook a lot of it there. We could do the prep at the restaurant, but the final cooking took place inside their building.
There you go. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what do you do? Is it basically, essentially, it's like an Uber or it's just a gig app.
Yeah.
It's a gig app for chefs,
100%.
which is a really cool idea. I don't think there's anything like that out there. I haven't seen that.
I like this idea.
So,
because
Plus Economics 1021.
Because what
good
happens
one.
is that there's a huge difference between home cooks that can cook for 10 people and professional chefs.
Right.
Right? So what this allows you to do is, like, let's say you make, I don't know, the best fried chicken, right? And you're just an average guy, or you make phenomenal ribs or a really good pasta, whatever it is, but you're not really a chef. Like, you don't make 10 or 15 other dishes, but you're really good at this one thing.
That's what this sounds like.
Yeah, you could just say, I just do this one dish, right? Like, I do this blue cheese pasta, right? And people rate it and review it and say, this is the best pasta I've ever had. And someone books me to come cook the pasta for them. It takes 30 minutes or an hour, and they pay, and I leave.
I mean, it sounds great. I love the idea.
I really like this idea.
Yeah. Can we go off on a tangent for a second? Something you just said.
Sure.
Okay. And it really has nothing to do with this. Well, it's something they're asking about in this app, but it's something that I'd like to get your opinion on.
Okay.
So when it comes to apps, websites, whatever, and reviews,
Yeah.
right? When you're reviewing people,
Yes.
I really personally, I think the whole review process has gone. It's out of control. I don't think it does what it's supposed to do anymore for a variety of reasons. Number one, I've seen on like Amazon a review of, say, a tent that's a gorgeous tent, and it's because we just bought one, and it's really, really nice, but it's got a 1-star review because UPS delivered it a day late. It's like unless you're reading every single review, you're getting skewed results. And the other side of things, and I'm sure you've seen the pictures of the review farms where it's one person and 200 iPads or phones in front of them, and they're just leaving review after review for a product that they own, or or more likely someone hired them to leave the review. So how can you trust these things anymore? And the third thing, and I'll say this because I had an Airbnb Airbnb property for a while. And it's so true. People have realized that the owners or the people selling have to protect their rating, and so a lot of times we have to give things up that we wouldn't normally give up because that person's threatening a 2 or 3-star review, and there's nothing we can do about it. I've literally had people tell me, perfect place, everything was beautiful, they had a great time, but if you don't give me $200 back, I'm going to give you a 2-star review. Mm-hmm. How can you trust reviews?
You can't.
Thank you.
How can you trust people?
Well, you can't trust people.
There you go.
But my point
Right?
is, everybody relies on them. You don't buy anything that doesn't have reviews. You don't buy anything that has bad reviews. We got to get away from that. But what do you do in the what do you do in the alternative?
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Like, I buy products of Amazon all the time that have 0 reviews.
Okay.
I just
Scary though, right?
Why?
Because no one's used it before. It's like when you go to a restaurant and there's nobody in there.
I go to Walmart all the time, or Target, or any of these stores.
Why is it so different online?
Home Goods.
No, you're right.
Right?
There's no reviews there. You just
Correct.
pick up the product and
Like,
leave.
I look at, so I love going to Home Goods to buy spices and like certain things because
Yeah.
they have like weird stuff that you normally don't find at the grocery store. There's not a single review for it.
Right.
I just grab
And
it
then
off
you
the
buy
shelf.
it.
I go, oh, that looks good.
Because you're trusting Home Goods is
I don't
quality
trust
products.
Home Goods. Absolutely not.
No?
I think Home Goods sells a lot of crap because I've tried a lot of their crap, right?
And you're not happy with it.
But the thing is, they bring in a lot of like specialty type stuff.
Right.
Right? That there's not, could I find it online and read some review about it? Oh, I probably could. But so personally, yes, there are certain things I read reviews on, right? Electronics. Mm-hmm. Like, I had to buy one of those pool sweeper robot things, right?
Yep. We have a dolphin.
Yeah. So because my pool is kidney shaped and there's not a flat surface in my pool,
Oh, it's got to be hard for it to move around. Yeah.
right? So when I was reading reviews, I was looking for someone that specifically said, I have a kidney shaped pool and this does well with it, right? But most of the reviews weren't like that. They were just, oh, does a great job, cleans my pool, but nobody described their pool or what it was actually cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's 100 different shapes of pools. And
yeah, but you're willing to do that. You're willing to take that extra step. Most people aren't. Most people will look at a product and see 5,000 reviews, 3.8 stars. Nope, not for me. Not good enough.
Actually, do you know what the optimal rating for a review is?
What?
Between 4.2 and 4.8.
Yeah.
That's like the optimal.
That's not right. Because
right?
if I don't see anything that high,
Yeah.
I'm thinking something's wrong with this product.
Yeah. When you see all 5-star reviews, people actually don't believe them
Don't trust
anymore.
it. Right. Oh, this is fake.
Correct.
It's crazy.
Right.
It's crazy. Seriously. So how do we get out of that mindset? Right. And this actually has to do with business, right? Because businesses like this guy are going to have chefs rated.
Right.
Chef prepares a gorgeous meal. Everyone's happy, but some crazy mother-in-law somewhere is like, "Oh, I didn't like his attitude. He's getting a 1 star."
I can tell you what the root of the problem is the people that implement these rating systems have the expectation that everybody is supposed to give you 5 stars. Google, Amazon, right?
Okay.
So if you think about it, if you get a product and it did what it was supposed to do, right? Like you bought let's go with something simple. You bought a cell phone case, right?
$15 cell phone case.
$15 cell phone case. So my phone goes in the case. The case does what it's supposed to do. Is that 5 stars because it did what it was supposed to do?
Right.
Or should we rethink that 4 stars should be the norm? Or 3 stars should be the norm.
Or something else.
Yeah, but so hear me out, because now you're forcing everybody for something that just did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
You're punishing the seller if I go, no, this is a 4 star. So here's another example. In your lifetime, would you give a McDonald's a 5-star rating?
I don't go to McDonald's. I honestly don't. I've been there 30 years.
Any chain restaurant.
Okay.
Right? You go in and you go, it's a Fridays. The food was according to Friday standards, right? The service was according to Friday standards.
I would have to say it's according to Friday standards, but I would have to compare Fridays to somewhere else and say, is Fridays significantly better than here? So, for example, I'm a Chick-fil-A guy. I love Chick-fil-A. Okay. Chick-fil-A is head and tails above McDonald's, above Wendy's, all those places, in my opinion. So but I would give them a 5-star based off of comparable fast food restaurants.
Okay, so perfect. Let's use Chick-fil-A. So let's say you always go to the same 2 Chick-fil-A's.
I do.
And
right here.
And you've gotten used to whatever the service is and the food, right? Now you're traveling, you walk into a different Chick-fil-A.
Which has happened.
And it's cleaner and the people are just nicer.
Going the other way, but yes.
Right. So where's the baseline, right? Yeah. Like if you've always given what you're used to 5 stars and then you experience something exceptional.
Right. How can you get 5 stars again?
Right. Yeah. What's the next rating?
Right. So that's the question. Then what is the purpose of the star system? I mean, I know what the purpose is, but how does it really help? It doesn't.
If it's used properly.
Human beings, not happening.
No, it's not just human beings. It's the fact that these platforms punish you if you don't get 5 stars.
Right.
Right? Like
they do. Hold on. The platform yes, the platform will punish you because they'll lower your ranking, whatever, if there's some type of order ranking. But we also punish because we won't even look at a product that has a certain amount of stars.
Because we've been told that we're supposed to give everybody 5 stars for everything for just doing the basic.
Well, we've also been trained for many years that you don't go to a 2-star hotel, you go to a 4-star or a 5-star hotel, right? Because you don't want to be in junk, you want to be in quality, and we're assuming that the star rating system on Amazon or wherever else tells you what kind of quality the product is.
But it should, but it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Right? Because
it's not going to. It's never going to.
No, because all of these platforms force the seller, just like they forced you to give a discount so someone would give you 5 stars.
Right.
Right?
So again, my question is, what's the alternative? How do you get around that?
You set up a ranking system where the expectation isn't to get 5 stars for everything. Right? Especially when it comes to food. Especially when it comes to a lot of stuff. You and I could go into the same exact restaurant. Me with a culinary background. You not. We get served a meal. And I go, this is okay.
Mm-hmm.
You go, this is great, right? I walk out and I give it 4 stars because the food was just okay. You thought it was great, right? So the whole point of the reviews would then be, okay, now I'm reading these 2 reviews. Let's click on him to see what else he rated.
Okay, but you're assuming people are going to go to that level, that depth. They're not going to.
With something like this, they probably would, right? Because food is so subjective when it comes to taste and flavor. Like when I make stuff at home and my mother-in-law goes, oh my God, this is so spicy. And I'm like, no, right? Like I have to add hot sauce because it's so bland.
Okay, so hold on. So here's the problem with that.
Yes.
And maybe I'm one of the few that are guilty of this, but I'll bet you there's more people that do this than others. I don't read the good reviews. I read the bad reviews.
Of course you do.
Right? Because the good reviews are all saying the same thing.
Because the bad reviews stand out.
But the bad reviews are the ones that stand out.
Correct.
And the problem is the bad reviews...
we teach people that when it comes to reviews,
yeah,
is we tell them, get someone that really likes your service to leave you a 1-star review with a phenomenal, like,
right, because it looks like they made a mistake.
That is the one that will get read the first.
That's killer. I like that.
Right, so we actually tell people to do this because it's human psychology. We want to read the bad reviews first, right? And I do the same thing. I'll skim through 2 or 3 reviews, and then I'll go look up the 1 and the 2 stars to see what the complaints are, because half the time it's UPS ruined the package.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the product, right? Yeah. So if all the 1-star reviews are something about transportation and I'm buying a cell phone case, none of those 1-star reviews matter.
So here's what I think, and Amazon does this partially as well. I think the reviews have to be more than just a set of stars for the entire encapsulation of the service or product. I think it needs to be broken down.
So Amazon does do that.
Yeah, Amazon does that
for certain products,
for certain
right?
things.
And it's the same thing. Google should adopt that. Like, they should have different ranking systems for restaurants versus plumbers versus grocery store.
Right.
Right? Because like a grocery store, what are you looking for in a grocery store? You're looking for selection. You're looking for how clean it is.
Yeah.
You're looking for... Right. So those are the things you should rate. Like you could go to a store that's absolutely like a hole in the wall, right? But it has a phenomenal selection of specialty products, right? It's not very clean, but do you really care? Because it's products you can't find
elsewhere.
You know
what else you could do? You could, and you may have alluded to this earlier, you could gauge the quality of that review based off of the person's other reviews. If that person's giving 1 stars to everybody, then you know they're junk. And the same thing, if that person just hands out 5-star reviews like it's candy,
that's why Google actually allows you to click on every user to see what else they have rated.
Yeah, but you're not going to go through people. I mean, you will. You're crazy. But a lot of people are not going to go through that trouble. They're not going to spend 45 minutes looking at reviews. They're not.
If they're doing this the first time they go on, and then they're going to end up finding their favorite chefs on here. So for something
they'll
like
find
this,
their favorites.
Yeah. So like,
but that's because they're going to use them.
Correct. But like with a rating system like this, you have to set it up where you can rate. How was the interaction? How was the responsiveness?
Right.
How was the food?
A few different keys. Right. A few different keys.
So you can't just make, and then you can take an average of whatever those stars were, but I have to be able to click on it to see how it was rated.
But even that, I see people, because you know people are going to do. They're going to say, oh, the food was, even though it'll say spectacular thing, but say the guy showed up 15 minutes late, everything's getting a 1 because he was 15 minutes late. Timeliness, okay, great. Maybe he deserves 1 for being late, but the food was bad because he was late. That's what people do.
It's because most people are trained. I think there should be a rating system, and this is how all of the platforms should implement it, is that 3 stars is the norm. That meets expectations. Anything above or beyond that, it's either below what you would expect, right?
Right.
Like if my phone didn't stay in here, right? That would be below expectations,
that would be a
problem. Right? But this met exactly the standards of what you needed for a phone case. How am I supposed to give this 5 stars?
So are you suggesting then, and I think this is where you're going with this, which I kind of like, as the consumer, I'm giving a star rating.
Yes.
But as the person who's seeing the product, I'm not seeing the stars. I'm seeing meets customer expectations, below customer expectations, exceeds customer expectations.
Correct.
I wouldn't even do that. I wouldn't even say. I would say meet expectations and then maybe a little plus or something like that. Because now everyone's just looking for exceeds.
Correct.
Right?
But that's what the ranking, the star system really was supposed to be.
But that's not what it is.
I'm
saying, is that what it is?
That's
by
what
any means.
That's what I've been saying this entire conversation, right? But the platforms are at fault because, like, I just had something on that I ordered on Amazon, right? It came in the description. It said it was supposed to be doing something very specific. When I tested it, it did not do any of it. I gave it a 1-star review. You know what happened within 24 hours?
You were contacted by the manufacturer or sort of seller.
Asking me if they gave me a refund, would I be willing to remove my review?
Right.
And I'm like, why? So the next person that buys it based on your description has to go through the exact same thing I just did? Because I read some of the reviews. I read your description. In your description, you say this was supposed to work for this device, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? None of the reviews mentioned that it didn't work for this device. So, of course, I'm going to leave you that 1-star review because, first of all, meet expectations. It's in your description, right? Like, so at a bare minimum, it should have done what you told me it was going to do.
Right.
You get 1 star because it didn't even partially do it, right? If it would have somewhat done it, okay, 2 stars.
You know, you may have fell victim to, not victim, but you know what happens sometimes is a product will be up there for 6 months, gaining a lot of good reviews.
And
then they'll swap out the product with something else.
This was legit the product that I was purchasing. Like the reviews were for this specific product. There were pictures on some of the reviews of this product.
Okay.
The problem was it just didn't fit with the device that I had, even though their description said that it would fit with my device.
Okay.
But anyway, so basically, I think the rating systems are still a great idea if we can normalize that meet standards is 3 stars.
No, again, I that's fine. I have no problem with that. I don't think you show the stars. I think you just show whether or not it met customer expectations. I think you leave it at that. Because once you have the stars, everybody's looking for what's the maximum number of stars. That's what I want. I want those stars.
Yeah.
As soon as you start showing stars. If you limit it to, below expectations or meets expectations.
That's kind of what the social platforms have been talking about, right? I don't
know.
Do you remove how many likes and views content has? Right? So that you can't see how many people liked a video or watched the video.
Does that entice me to watch, though?
It's a mob mentality.
Is it?
I'm telling you,
I don't know
100%.
that I've ever been enticed to watch a video because a million people watched it. I watch it because the content looks interesting.
So a lot of people will, in that 3 second, when you scan the video to see what it is, there's a reason how many likes it has is right in front of you.
Oh, it makes sense.
If you see a video that has 1.8 million likes, you're more likely to go, I need to see why 1.8 million people like this video. Right? It
makes sense.
Again,
I
it's
personally
human nature.
don't do that, but it makes sense.
Yeah. So, they've been having those conversations. Should we remove those things?
All right. Well, back to this guy here.
Yes.
Plus Economics 1021. So, again, love the idea. Think it's great. Let me know when it's ready because we'll order some chefs to our house. But I would honestly, I would try to take a different approach with the rating system. If try to be a pioneer, do something different. Maybe you come up with an algorithm or something for the rating system that could be revolutionary and change the way it works. Because right now it's just not good. It really isn't because maybe it was good 20 years ago, but nowadays the way ratings are done is just not good. And you're right. I think it's partially the platform.
And allow a 2-way rating.
Yeah. two-way ratings are absolutely necessary. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, sometimes all you do is you get into fights.
Yeah.
But allow a
two-way, especially with this, because once again, if it's a woman that makes a really good dish and registers on there, and there's creeps, right? And she goes there and wants to make sure that other female chefs don't end up in that same situation, whatever.
Sure.
She should be allowed to rate it accordingly.
No, understood. Right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's see here. Particular Free through 35 says, how do you validate your idea? I'm curious about the different methods people use to validate their business ideas. I usually use ebooks, similar competitors, and YouTube videos as a huge confluence when I'm thinking about adding something to my business or starting a business. Well, how do you validate an idea? I mean, I validate it based off of, I look at my clients and what they're doing, what other people are doing in the industry, just my personal experience, which is probably the best way, right? Your personal experience, what you've seen out there, what you've read about, what you've looked into. And viability is like, and there's a million great ideas out there, but how many of them are viable? That's really what it comes down to.
So it depends on what the idea is, right? So let's say you got the idea of building the ugliest truck that has ever been designed, right?
Don't say it.
How do you
say it.
How do you validate the idea?
You put it out there. You see if people want it.
You see if people are willing to make a deposit on it.
Yeah.
Once you get enough deposits, the idea has been validated. Right? So they do this in tech a lot, where you can pre-order access to something. So I always say, if you really want to validate an idea, see if someone is willing to hand over cash to purchase whatever it is that you're selling, or prepay you for a service that is, because you can always refund it, right?
Do you think that works for not a small business, a small company, someone that has never heard of you before?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Like I can see it working for. Obviously, we're talking about the Cybertruck. I can see.
I would know.
I can see it working for Tesla, right? It makes sense. You know Tesla. You know they're going to stand behind their product, and if it doesn't work out, they're going to get your money back. But if Joe Schmo down the street, who just started his LLC, comes to you and says, "Hey, I have this great idea for a product. Give me $100 as a hold to hold your spot," would you do that?
It depends on what it is.
Well, if it's something you're interested in, of course.
That's a great way to validate your idea. And it doesn't have to be $100. It could be $10.
That's true. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a lot of money.
Right? Let's say you make a new, I don't know, bag clip, whatever. Like, I don't care what it is. And this is what, Kickstarter is. Right?
Oh, yeah. Kickstarter is all about that. Sure.
That's validation of your idea. If people are willing to fork over money for your idea, it's very easy to validate it, right? And there's difference between people saying, yeah, I would probably buy that, and pulling $5 out of their wallet and handing it to you and go, okay, if it doesn't launch, just give the money back to me, right? But yeah, business ideas are relatively easy to validate.
Yeah.
And just because it's an idea doesn't mean that it's a sellable idea. That's the difference. You don't find out whether something is sellable until you try to sell it to someone.
Sure. So now let's look at the legal side of things doing that.
Mm-hmm.
If you are to do this, which is a good idea, if you are to do this, that money must be put aside somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I personally would put it into an escrow account or something like that.
Yeah.
That is not capital for your business to use to start funding the project.
Correct.
That money has got to be put aside because
correct. Unless you're doing something like Kickstarter, where you are allowed to pull the money, right?
But I'm saying if you're going to people and saying, hey, I had this product idea, do you want to put a deposit on it? I'm trying to validate it, blah, blah, blah. Unless they know that money is going toward the actual production of the product, that money has got to be put aside because you have not earned that money.
But it's the same thing. I tell people come to me quite frequently with an idea for a nonprofit, right? And you always hear but there's so many people that like my idea and think it's such a great idea for this nonprofit, and they would 100% support it. And I'm like, okay, ask them for money, right? If all those people that said this is a great idea are willing to help you by handing you $5 or $10 or $100 or write you a check for $500 to help you get it up and running, it's a viable idea. If you can't separate people from their money, your nonprofit isn't going to go anywhere.
Right.
Right. So it's by far the best way to validate something. Right. And we tested this, for example, we thought about adding another service to what we were doing. which was managing Google business profiles only.
Right.
So like not doing a lot of the other stuff, because a lot of business owners struggle with their business profiles. They don't take care of it. They don't understand how valuable it is. They don't understand how many leads can like. So we tested it, and we literally went on TikTok and created a video about, for a special offer for 3 months or 6 months, I forget what it was, we were going to do it at a very low cost, right? But we were taking pre-registrations to see what the interest was. And we really weren't looking to get the business. We were just seeing how many people would click on the registration link, right? Because we know if I sell it to you at $100 versus $600,
right,
there's going to be a drop-off, right? So we can't gauge someone that's willing to spend $100, would they spend $600? But what it allows us to do is gauge how many people were actually interested in it by looking at how many people visited that specific page.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
But it's the step before separating them from their money. Now we knew there's interest, right? We knew people they wanted to read about it. So we now know there's interest. Now it's just a matter of how do we package that service, price it correctly, and then who do we sell it to?
Okay. So again, way to validate your business is how do you separate people from their money? And even if it's a little bit of money, if you could separate people from their money, then you're validating your business.
Yeah. I think that's always the best way to do it.
Okay. So there you go. That's one of the ways. That's a very good way to do it. But you're not wrong in looking at competitors and looking at YouTube videos and things like that either. But you're right. At the end of the day, if you can convince somebody to separate, even if it's $5 from their wallet for your business idea, you are validating your business.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So good luck with that one. Particular free 35. All right. Let's see. This guy's just all over the place. Yeah. He posted it right. Fire safety insurance idea. Okay, this should be interesting. Grouchy Strain 3917 says, "Hi, I'm writing from the Bay Area in California. Been out there? You've been to the Bay Area?
I have not.
Oh, good area.
No, I've been to San Diego. That's it.
It's gorgeous out there. And I'm concerned about the health of the entire state with insurers non-renewing and running out of the state. Actually, I've heard about this. I believe this is because of the increased fire risk and the Insurance Commission of California, who enforced Prop 103. This is getting political, isn't it?
No.
Okay, PG&E can't work fast enough. This is creating an opportunity for PG&E to fund organizations like Fire Safe Marin, which inspects people's properties and tell them they're out of code. Suppose they are breaking code and don't come to commit to fix it. In that case, the information is passed through the insurance carriers who drop their clients and refuse to renew. The only insurers who are willing to play ball and open new businesses in California are the non-admitted insurers who can set their rates and don't have to be regulated by the insurance commission. But if they go out of the business, the state will not carry out their claim. With the CO2 solution used in fire extinguishers, is it possible to protect your property with something along the lines of CO2 sprinklers that would protect your property from fire and only cause smoke damage even if the rest of the neighborhood was not protected? If so, how much would that decrease the cost of replacement charges for an insurance company to pay out, as opposed to a house that was fully burnt? I mean, this doesn't sound like a business idea. It just sounds like a question about insurance.
Well, so another hypothetical, if that was the case, could you create a separate market for those established houses to get insurance from NA insurers at a low rate because there's less risk? So it sounds like the fire system is the idea, right? So that basically you have a property sprinkler rather than a home sprinkler.
So we're in Warrington, PA right now, and in Warrington, PA, the township requires every building to have a sprinkler system through it in every room. And that's houses, commercial, it doesn't matter. Every building has to have a sprinkler system. Now, if it was built,
you don't have to.
Yeah, if it was built 50 years ago, right. Although I think there's some circumstances where they won't give you a COO certificate of occupancy for like the sale of a house unless there's you're working toward doing it or something like that. Like you have to have some type of mitigation in the house. Yeah, because we deal with the sales all the time, and there's you have to have some type of mitigation, fire extinguishers or something like that. But yeah, any newer property, I would say, I don't know exactly, but let's say 25 years or less, probably maybe 30 years or less, every one of them has to have sprinkler system in the house.
Which is great if the fire starts on the inside.
Right.
Right? What he's talking about, the fires
the
starting on the outside.
Yeah, the brush fires that come through in California are crazy.
So, like, if you can put together like almost like a defensive line, right? So when the fire reaches your property line, CO2 gets sprayed or something gets sprayed to make sure the fire doesn't pass the boundary. Right? And I think so the thing is,
I get it.
I think what he's saying is doable, right? Like, I think this is an ingenious idea. The problem becomes, at what point is it worth protecting the property? How much does your home has to be worth?
Yeah, because you know what that would cost? I mean, although we're talking about California, a 1,600 square foot place, probably $2 million out there.
California just hit 102 cities where a starter home is now $1 million.
More than $1 million more, I know. It's insane.
But I mean, if you think about this, not just for homes, but for businesses, right? Like, if you're a manufacturing company and you have millions of dollars worth of equipment in inventory, right?
But I know what you're saying, but if I'm thinking of a brush fire, right? I'm thinking, that fire is not like right here and it's constantly going. It's spreading all over.
Yeah.
Right? And it's here, it's here, it's here. So what is your CO2 system going to do against this gigantic brush fire that's coming? It might put this out right here, but there's just more coming behind it.
Yeah, but what he's talking about is making like a 360 that basically surrounds your property.
Yeah, I got it. But eventually you're going to run out of CO2.
Yeah, I'm not saying CO2 is necessarily
whatever the retardant is, you're going to run out of it eventually.
But yes, and they're running out of water in California too, so they wouldn't even be able to. Theoretically,
one of the things that the firemen do is they get ahead of the fire and then burn that ground.
Right, and then they
controlled
soak it.
Burn,
yes,
and then the fire can't go past it.
Correct. You would need something that maybe burns 10 yards and then soaks
like asbestos.
Yes, like asbestos. Let's bring that back.
I'm bringing back asbestos.
So, but then I don't know about the insurance part of this. Like,
I guess if you have something that
the problem is, if these systems start existing just like they're doing here, they're just going to mandate that a system like this gets built into new homes that are in those areas.
Right, but then what they're saying is that if by doing so the insurance rates come down, insurance carriers stay, et cetera, et cetera.
Of course, insurance. Of course,
yeah,
insurance always lowers their rates. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen the insurance rates the last couple of years?
Trust me.
25% insurance went up on average this year. 25%.
57% for my business over the last 2 years.
Yeah, crazy. It's on for what? I haven't used it. I have no idea why my insurance keeps going up.
Correct. But yeah, they'll lower the insurance even if you come up with a solution.
Right, exactly. They'll just find a way to insure that too.
Correct. I think this is more of a, like, if you have a historic home or if you have a home that means that much to you that you can't watch it burn, then some kind of system like this would probably be phenomenal for you. But I don't think this is going to have any effect on the insurance.
Yeah.
They're not going to lower rates ever.
No, insurance companies will not lower rates.
No.
They're not in the business to pay out.
They might just not raise them as fast, but they'll never lower them.
Right. All right, so Grouchy strain 3917. I don't know.
Unsure of the idea, but
yeah, if you can find something that works. The CO2, I don't think it's enough because it's going to run out. I don't care how much you have. You're going to run out.
And also, you're doing it outside.
Yeah.
Inside it works because they're in closed spaces.
It's finite. Outside it's too big. It's too large. Too large a space. All right, moving on. Ideas. Here we go. This is from Skater PT1. I got 70,000 euro, and I want euro. That's your thing, right? They have euro over there in Iceland, right?
Not really.
What do they use there?
We use our currency.
Oh, you have your own currency?
We have our own.
I thought I used euro over there.
You might. We take it as a secondary.
Oh, okay.
It's not our primary currency.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't think the euro is a primary currency in any country right now.
Nowhere?
No, I think it's a secondary everywhere. Like, they accept it.
Yeah.
But it's not the primary currency.
Get out of here. Like, are there francs back in France?
Yeah.
I'm going there in October. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I don't know how true that is.
You can use both. Yeah.
I don't know that you can get francs.
Okay.
We'll find out. If I can shop in francs, I'm doing it.
I don't think any country has fully adopted the euro as their primary currency.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that.
Good to know.
Put it in the comments if I'm wrong. I love being wrong.
I got 70,000 euro and I want to open some sort of shop, either for food, because my friend is a very good chef, or maybe some business model you have in your country that would work in NL. What's NL? Netherlands?
Netherlands.
Netherlands, okay. Like some traditional food places, not restaurants, or maybe a mix, or some other industry. Okay, you got 70K. Don't say franchise. What would you like to do for 70K? Don't say franchise. Other than franchise, what would you do with 70K?
If I had no business experience?
Other than franchise. If I weren't looking at a franchise, what else could I do with 70K?
There's a bunch of stuff you can do. In the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Yeah, you open up a shop.
Okay.
You didn't want
That's
franchise, so that's what you got.
Thing.
It
Absolutely.
is a thing, right? You can open up a cafe. You could open up a restaurant. You could open up a, depending on where you are, you could open up a tourist shop.
So I want to dig
right?
deeper into his comment about my friend's a good chef. Okay.
Okay.
What's that have to do with you?
Because he probably wants to.
No, of course he's going to say his friends, but unless your friend's a partner, your friend ain't going to be sticking around very long if the money isn't very good.
If you pay him.
I'm saying if the money isn't very good, right? The friend's not going to be sticking around for very long. I would not, under any circumstances, build my business on somebody else's back. Meaning that if that person's not there, my business fails.
Yeah, well,
I'm the only one who's going to be there all the time.
All you need, so this is where if you have a chef that develops a menu for you, you can teach other people to replicate that menu.
Sure.
Right? So even if he just stays on temporarily and
consultant or something.
Yeah, and develops the menu and make sure that there's recipes and standards for it, similar to what a franchise would do. I didn't say it. Then yeah, I mean you could open a French fry place that has 5 items on the menu and an ice cream, right?
Like best.
Yeah, but it's simple, right? You can't really mess up the recipe. Everything can be timed, so you can get inexperienced people. When you open a restaurant, you have to get a chef that is willing to commit for a period of time in order to have a chance of that restaurant being successful.
Sure.
Because you're building that restaurant of the quality of the food.
You need people to come, 3 times to a restaurant before it's they stick?
I don't know.
I think it's 3 times.
Is it 3 times?
I think so.
But I'll give you an example that I consulted with a restaurant a few years ago, and they kept telling me they had a great chef and they couldn't understand why people weren't coming. And I go in and they didn't know I was coming. I order food. I sit down and I'm like, this food is horrendous. It wasn't even bad. It was horrendous.
Really?
To the point that I didn't want to eat it. They were convinced that the cook was really good and knew what they were doing because they liked the food. And I'm like, we're sitting in an empty restaurant at lunchtime on a Friday in the middle of an area where there's 300 businesses. And you're telling me
packed. Yeah.
It should be at least one other person other than me, right?
Was that empty?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they didn't believe it. And this is what happened. So the funny thing is I gave them a proposal to help them fix it, help them find a new chef, right? Because of my culinary background, I can tell when someone can cook and when they can't cook.
Right.
And this guy obviously couldn't cook, but had convinced them that he could. And for some reason they liked his food, which says a lot about them. But in a situation like this, all you would have had to do is get a consulting chef in for 90 days or 6 months to redevelop the food. So they called me a few months later, or a couple of weeks later, and said, we figured out what the problem is. And I'm like, oh, good. They're like, yeah, we don't need you. I'm like, so how are you going to fix it? And they're like, bigger portions.
No.
I'm like, so you want to give people more of food that they're already not eating, right?
Man.
But back to this idea, if you're doing some kind of food and the chef is not a partner with you or has committed long term, Make sure that it's a menu that can be easily replaced when a new chef comes in, or that it's easy to replicate whatever food that it is that the chef has developed on the menu.
And make sure the chef is developing, again, this is a legal side of things, make sure the chef is developing that food under your banner, under your company, so that you own that intellectual property. Because the recipe is intellectual property.
So what's interesting is there's a restaurant out in Chicago.
Just one?
No, specific restaurant.
Oh. Pizzeria Uno.
Yes. How did you know? But he's probably one of the top 10 chefs on the planet. And he runs this restaurant, right? So one of his sous chefs came up with an idea. And the chef asked him, are you sure you want to do this in this restaurant? Because if you do it, this will now forever be tied to this restaurant.
And owned by the restaurant.
Yes, you were the creator of it, but it will always be tied to the restaurant, right? So they ended up, the sous chef was like, yes, I want this. Like, I care enough about the restaurant that I want this to be a thing for it. But it was the first time I realized that, you know, when you worked at a restaurant, whatever you came up with, whatever ideas, very rarely get associated with the person cooking it, and more so with the restaurant that it was cooked in.
And if you work for an employer, unless it specifically says in your contract otherwise, or a contract otherwise, your inventions are owned, as long as you're working on the clock or at the direction of the employer, your inventions are owned by the employer.
Yeah.
It's called work made for hire. Very interesting. All right. So, the restaurant's an interesting idea. Apparently, Gummi wants a shop out there.
No, you wanted something other than a franchise.
Other than
you said anything else.
So there's lots of cool ideas. I mean, I love the specialty food place, like the cookie places or the cake places, or that's all they sell. They don't sell anything else. Like Insomnia cookies, that's all they sell is cookies,
like
right?
Crumbled,
right?
Like any
exactly,
of that.
Something like that.
Oh, look, a franchise.
Hey, you're funny. Make your own. Make your own recipe. So $70,000. Sorry, 70,000 euro. That's probably about 80 grand, right? 80K,
something US, like that.
You could do a lot with that.
But once again, so in this specific instance, where you don't know whether you have a chef or whatever, this would be an ideal buy a brand that's already known.
Yeah.
So now you are more running a business, and you're learning how to run a business rather than trying to invent a business and like get a proven product in there. Sometimes it's the safest, like put a Subway in. Right. Like Subway is one of the most successful franchises on the planet. Right? Like they fail at a lower rate than any other food franchise. Even though they closed a bunch of ones, but there's so many of them. And there's decent money in it. And
you think there's Rita's out there?
Do I think what?
You think there's a Rita's out there?
No.
In the Netherlands?
No.
Will they eat water ice?
Yeah, but they make way better water ice than Rita's.
No, really?
Yeah.
Get out of here. I know
Really?
Iceland has fantastic ice cream.
You like Rita's water ice?
I love Rita's water ice.
Okay.
No, continue, please.
No,
Who makes better water ice than Rita's out there?
Anybody that's from any part of...
Really?
Probably, well, excluding the Germans. But Germany and south, all the way till you get to Italy, they'll make way better water ice than...
Okay, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, try it when you go. If you're going to France, find it.
They make... I don't know that I've ever had water ice over in the EU.
They call it something else, but it's basically the same thing.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Good to know. All right, moving on. I keep seeing pizza vending machines. This guy, really, all he did was post vending machines. All right, no. How is Pinterest marketing these days? Yeah, Gummi, how is Pinterest marketing?
It's actually...
I'm keen on lifestyle/fashion and planning to build a blog on Pinterest, but I'm stuck with monetization between Pinterest and Instagram. Which platform is better?
It's not which one is better.
You need both.
Correct. Right. So I'll give you an example that I know a lady that used Pinterest to get 30,000 followers on her Instagram in 40 days.
Okay.
Right. So the question isn't which one you're using. The question is which one
You got to use them together, and which one's driving to the other.
Correct. Which one pays you better, right? Which one is easier to monetize? And in this case, I would say Instagram is probably easier to monetize.
Okay, so explain to people how you monetize Instagram.
So there's multiple ways, right? So creators can get paid directly from the platform. You can set up subscriptions, which I believe you can also do on Pinterest now. Or you can offer a service or product that's monetized off platform, right? So like you could have a weekly newsletter that goes out and someone pays $2.99 a month to be a subscriber. But really what it's about is you pick a primary platform, right? So let's say you pick Instagram or YouTube or any of them. You use all the other platforms to drive people back to what is your primary monetization platform. That's basically how it works.
Okay, good.
And some people are monetizing on multiple platforms. Like there's people that monetize both TikTok and YouTube.
Oh yeah, you can monetize
Instagram,
them all.
right? Like,
but a lot of times it's good to use one to drive traffic to the other.
Correct. When you're starting, you need to focus on building one to the point where you can monetize it. Then you can look at other platforms.
So why would you go Instagram over Pinterest in this case?
Because I believe Instagram has a better creator payout program. And I think it's easier to follow people on Instagram. And I think the advertising options on Meta as a whole, as of right now, are slightly better than what Pinterest has to offer. So from a business perspective, the Meta platform is just a little bit ahead of where Pinterest is when you start treating it like a business.
Now, what about YouTube? As far as monetization.
So monetization on YouTube is fantastic if you can get there. Right? If you can get to the viewer volume.
They accept everybody, right? On Pinterest and Instagram, pretty much everyone can monetize, right? So on YouTube, you have to be chosen.
Everybody has to have a minimum standard.
Oh, you still have minimums.
Correct.
Okay.
Everybody.
Okay.
So you have to start, like on TikTok, you have to build up to, I think it's 10,000 followers. It's 10,000 followers, and you have to have 100,000 views on your videos in the last 30 days.
Oh, okay.
Right? So there's like multiple criteria.
Before you can monetize.
Correct.
Right.
YouTube is the same way. You have to have a minimum amount of followers. You have to have had X number of video views before ads will essentially run during your stuff.
Okay.
Instagram, same thing. Like they all have minimum standards unless you're building, I believe, the subscription from the get-go, right? So like if you can have your account and then you could have a member section, for example, and you are allowed to charge for that now. I think that's how Instagram set it up.
Okay.
So member exclusive content. It's the same thing. TikTok now has a member exclusive, like if you've ever seen a TikTok live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So normally there's a request to join button. If that is a little like yellow star or something, that means you have to be a paid subscriber of that live.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, in order to request.
So,
but they can invite you in.
So, all right. Let's say, does this person say with the fashion? Okay, fashion's or lifestyle and fashion. Where would you start? What? Let's say, I know you say to use them all, but let's say you really need to hit one hard.
Instagram.
Where would Instagram? That's what I would think too.
Yeah.
Instagram's where I would be first.
Yeah, I mean, because it is still relatively easy to build a following on Instagram in a short amount of time, because they have so many advertising options as well, right? And when you start treating this like a business, then you start looking at, do I pay for followers? Do I pay for distribution, right? Do I pay for discovery? And that's a legit way to grow an account, is if your content isn't organically getting in front of more people, then pay to distribute it, because it's like any other business. If people don't know you exist, they can't follow you, they can't do business with you, they can't subscribe to you.
Right.
So if you're doing this, then go all in.
Okay.
Because he's not talking about Pinterest marketing, he's really talking about monetization.
No, of course, absolutely, yeah. So, all right, so yeah, I like the idea though, using one platform, Pinterest, for example, to drive traffic to Instagram, and then use Instagram to monetize. Yeah, so that's good. All right, so hopefully that helps you out. Okay, I need help. There we go. Someone who finally just admits, I need help. Great. All right, this is from Top Educator 4055. So I'm underage, unfortunately, but I really want to invest. I don't know what age has to do with it.
And I don't know how this is a business idea.
Let's see. And obviously, I need to be 18 and above to use Robinhood. Oh, right, you do. Or get an Roth IRA. The only app I can think of is Cash App. What, to invest? I need experience. I have no one to sponsor me. Okay, so basically, how do you invest underage? I thought you could use a broker underage. In fact, I know you can. You don't have to be. You don't have to be 18 to use a broker. Now, to use the app like Robinhood and invest on your own, E-Trade and whatnot, I'm pretty sure you have to be 18 for those. But you could always call up a Morgan Stanley or whatever and get your...
You still need parental consent.
Well, okay, so there's two parts to that.
Yeah.
If he has, let's assume it's a he, has parents, then, dude, go with your parents. Say, hey, I want to start putting money away and let you have your parents sign off. If you don't have parents, and, well, it sounds like he might not be from the U.S., but let's assume he is. If you don't have parents, then become an emancipated minor, and you can do whatever you want, right? Yeah. Once you're an emancipated minor, you're technically an adult in the eyes of the law, and you can do whatever you want. Then you can start using Robinhood and things like that. Yeah. So if you have family that supports you, or even if they don't support you, but if you have family that at least is there,
they can sponsor your account, right?
They don't have to sponsor it; they just have to sign.
They can sign.
They can sign for you. Sponsor it with your own money, right. But they can and be the legal right. And the legal ones.
So what he's looking to do is you want to create what's called a UTMA account.
Yeah.
Right. So even if a parent gets you signed up and sets up the account and then sets you up as a UTMA. The parent can't pull the money from the UTMA.
Correct, because it's a trust. It's a trust account, right? Yes. Yeah, in the name of the minor.
If that's a concern, then set it up as a UTMA.
So there's ways to do this. He's looking. My guess is no experience, probably, right? But he sees all the cool things going on with Robinhood and stuff like that. Trust me. You only hear the tippy top of the good. There's a whole iceberg of bad underneath the whole. And I'm not saying Robinhood's doing anything bad. Yeah. It's people that just have no clue what they're doing, losing everything because they think it's fun and exciting. This is where I want to be, and they lose everything.
Talk to a guy not even a month ago that lost $380,000 trading cryptocurrency.
Did he have $380,000?
He did have the money to lose it. Right?
Well, he doesn't anymore.
He does not have the $380,000.
So you want to be real careful with that. But to be honest, actually, if you are underage, or even if you are 18, 21, whatever, if you're young and inexperienced, I wouldn't even do that. I would talk to a broker. A broker's going to help you. They have that's why they're there, right? They're there to help you.
So there's a difference.
Avoid those pitfalls.
I had to explain this to someone the other day, that there's a difference between a trader and an investor.
Oh, yeah.
If you are looking to invest, you are buying completely differently than if you're looking to become a trader. Right? And unless you become really good at understanding why companies jump and when, right? The problem is people see like this GameStop thing.
Right.
And they were like,
Wall Street bets, yes.
Right? Like, and they're like, oh, they made so much money from GameStop. And I'm like, you realize all the people that made the money became aware of this a year and a half prior to it happening. Yeah. So it's still, they had to project that this was going to happen a year out, right? And it's funny because if you talk to any trader, any investor, they'll tell you the reason we make money today is because of good decisions we made last year, right? Like that's what it comes down to.
Right.
Like I bought NVIDIA when ChatGPT, the month after ChatGPT went public and people got to see what AI did and you started hearing. I looked up because I'm a huge fan of buy the company that makes the parts, not the product.
Right.
Like, so I like buying battery companies rather than buying the car company because they're all going to need batteries. Like Panasonic is going to provide everybody with batteries. They don't care. But it's understanding what's happening now, buying it now, expecting the payout a year or 2 years or 5 years down the road. Traders, even day traders, aren't really day traders. They have looked at a long history of analysis to figure out, okay, this might jump 6% today based on historical data, and they may win some and they're going to lose some, right? As long as your wins are more than your losses, you're okay. But yeah, getting into trading.
Yeah, here's a fallacy that a lot of people fall victim to, especially when they first started trading. They think that the price of the stock tells you how well the company's doing.
Oh yeah, no.
And it has nothing. One has almost all the time. One has nothing to do with the other, because you're not buying the stock from the company. You're buying it from somebody else. If I buy a share of Tesla for whatever it is, $1,200 or something like that these days, right? It's really high. Isn't it that high?
No, I thought it was like down.
Oh, did it drop? I haven't checked in a long time.
I think it's like 200 something.
All right, so say I buy a share of Tesla for $200. Tesla's not seeing that money. It's someone else who had bought that share already and traded it, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just that I think the value of Tesla is going to go up. And what happened with Wall Street Bets was a complete unicorn. Like, you're not going to see that again.
Well, so what they did was, and it's funny that you bring up Tesla, is remember when Elon Musk ran the shorts?
Yeah.
And the shorts?
Yes.
That's exactly what happened with GameStop. So what happened is they drove up prices to force the shorts, which were primarily investment.
There was a lot of them too.
Yeah, they forced them to buy them out at a much, much, much higher rate, right? It had nothing to do with the price of the stock at the time.
Right.
It had everything to do with all the shorts that had been purchased over time.
Right.
Right?
Because everyone thought it was going bankrupt.
Yeah. They're not.
And then Wall Street Bets comes around and kills it. It's a great story. It really is. But so anyway, back to your questions about Robinhood and underage and everything like that.
231.
231. Okay. I haven't paid attention to their stock in a while.
Up 4% today.
I think the market's doing really. Was the market up like 500-600 today? It's doing pretty well.
Well, considering how the market went the last few days.
Yeah.
I would call that a rebound. More than doing really well.
So, if you're underage, parental consent's always a good thing. If you don't have parental consent, there are legal ways to do it. Okay, there's maybe you can get an uncle or something like that signed for you. Or worst case scenario, if you're in a situation where you really don't have parents, something like that, become an emancipated minor, and you can invest whatever you need to invest. And if you do have parents and you don't trust them, use the trust account, the UTMA trust account.
Yep.
So
both my daughters have UTMA accounts.
They don't trust you?
I don't trust me.
You don't trust you.
Right? Now, how often have you heard a story of something happens with a parent and they desperately need access to money and they pull from a kid's fund that was supposed to be
childhood
their
actors happens all the time.
Yeah. And it's not that you're being mean or that you intend to take it but stuff can happen all the time, right? Yeah. And you're like, this money could literally bail us out, right? Yeah. You will tap into it if you have to, right? Like this way, there's no chance of tapping into it. Like that money doesn't exist until they turn 18.
Right, which makes sense.
Yeah,
keeps you from. Even though normally you would never do it, sometimes when we're in serious situations,
it's happened.
Yeah. All right, let's see. This is interesting. What if you could create your own egg brand without owning a poultry farm?
Yeah, everybody does it.
I like it. Oh, wait. No, this is an ad.
Oh.
This is an ad. Okay. Oh, stupid ads. Go away.
But it's the same concept as everybody.
Pizza vending machines.
Oh, my God. And it's a franchise opportunity.
Hey, look at that. Any business ideas? Yeah, pizza vending machines.
Yeah.
All right. Matus Zavaki asks, any business ideas? Hi, my friends and I have been thinking about starting a business for a long time. We've developed ecological power banks. Ooh. But then we found out that it would be really hard to continue with it since we had to get a license and all that and stuff.
Yes.
And also tons of money.
And yes.
I would like to ask if you guys got any business ideas that would be possible to make without any huge capital. I was thinking about getting some products made in China and setting up a brand. Hold on, before we go any further, I just want to see if the pizza vending machines are in the comments here. Let's see. Nothing about pizza vending machines. All right,
you can start with affiliate marketing. I hate these people.
Oh, no, please. Yeah, one of the comments is you can start with affiliate marketing without very much capital. Please explain why that's a terrible idea.
Well, so affiliate marketing at its core concept is not a bad idea.
No, it's not. But the way it gets executed is horrible.
Correct. Is affiliate marketing is really nothing more than being a commission salesperson, right? That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's you drive someone to buy a product, you get a cut of the action. It's a well-known concept, right?
Perfect description. Go ahead.
The problem is people don't understand how hard it is to build a network that starts trusting you enough or getting ranked on Google or driving the traffic, right? We're not paying you an affiliate commission or a sales commission because marketing is easy, right? We're paying you an affiliate commission because we know marketing is hard, right? Like, and the more people we can get talking about a product, the more likely you are to buy it. So affiliate marketing is a great way to expand your business. It is really hard to get into affiliate marketing at a level where you're going to make real money from it, right? And there are guys out there that have done it and they've been doing it for years, right? Like there's one guy, he's actually on TikTok now, and he is an SEO guy. And rather than doing SEO for other companies, he decided to become an affiliate. He does SEO for himself and makes money when people click through the links and buy whatever he's recommending, right? And very commonly when you read articles like top 5 cameras compared, right? Any link you click in that, those articles weren't being written because they really care about what the top 5 cameras are.
The spots have been purchased. Absolutely.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like the top rated camera and why, they can give you a really good reason because it's subjective, why it's the best camera. My guess is always this camera has the best affiliate payout.
Yeah.
Right? It has the best commission payout.
Right.
That's why you're ranking it number 1.
Right.
Right? Now, there are people that genuinely care and do this and add the affiliate links and stuff as a secondary because they took the time to write this and compare it. And they may have bought 3 cameras and tested it. And it's only fair that they get compensated for it, right? Like, I have no problem with it. But people just, in general, it's like MLM back in the day.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody has to do Amway or whatever, like whatever the hell it is at the time, right?
Right.
Everyone should be a Mary Kay rep. Everybody should sell Stream. No. If you are really good at sales and you are going to treat whatever you do as an actual business, you can do commission sales and do it really well. I was just talking to someone yesterday. All they do is sell solar panel installs. They haven't installed a solar panel ever in their life.
They just sell the install.
They
right?
just sell the installs.
Yeah.
They have a pricing model, and then they basically sell that contract to a solar install company that then goes and executes it, right? And that's brilliant. If you're really good at that stuff, that's what you should be doing. Be a sales and marketing machine. But it's not.
So back to this guy's question,
Yes.
though. Doesn't sound like he's asking about that. He's asking about products, right? I'm getting it made in China. We've already created a product, et cetera, et cetera. So what kind of product would you, let's say, what kind of product would people be interested in?
Toys.
So I gotta call your wife.
No, I mean, so here's what.
I'd stay away from technology.
Yeah, but there's 2 things. Like, it's sell it before you have it made.
Sure.
Right? Like,
But what is it?
Go do some research on it. Go look up patents that are expiring. It's
Very good idea. Yes, that's
Right?
correct. Yes. That's right. That's what happened with the fidget spinner.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right? It's fascinating what you can find, and chances are, if the patent's expiring, China already knows.
Oh, China's been making it for 20 years.
And they might not even care, right? So the moment the day
But there's no market here yet.
but the day it expires,
They'll be flooded.
You
the
bring
market
it
will
in.
be flooded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no harm in being a part of that.
no.
No harm at all being a part of
No.
that. In fact, that's not a bad idea. Find a patent that's expiring in the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? Get your production team ready, whatever it's China, wherever it's going to be, India, whatever it is, and then
start taking pre-orders.
Start finding your locations where you're going to sell it at, what's retail stores, etc.
Yep.
Yeah, and in 6 months when that patent expires, boom, you're ready to go in the market
on day one.
Yeah, and you're here. That's the beauty.
Because you can bring it in and have it ready. You just can't sell it until it expires.
Correct. Yeah. There you go. That's how you do it. Patents.
Yeah,
patents.
It's one way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Another way to do it is,
well, if these guys are making ecological power banks, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, but so another thing you could do is, and there are people that do this every day. Don't focus on a specific product. Just focus on trending products, right? So you can go on TikTok Shop or Amazon, and they will show you what the top trending products are.
Right.
And bring them in small batches and undercut the market, and then just tap out and move on to the next one. Right? That's a legit business model as well.
Yeah. No, this is cool. I like this idea.
Another thing, and this always blows my mind, right, is you can make a living selling Bounty and Kleenex on Amazon.
What?
So let me.
Yeah, please explain
so
that one.
Let me
break that out a little bit, would you?
So Amazon is a marketplace, right?
I've heard of that.
No, but it's a marketplace, meaning Amazon isn't necessarily the one that buys all of this stuff wholesale.
Oh no,
right?
they don't own 90% of their product. They don't own.
Correct.
They don't own.
But what are things that if you have the capital funding, if I called Colgate right now and said, "Hey, I want to order 10 containers of toothpaste. What's the best price you can give me?" Right? That is going to be drastically less than whatever Colgate is selling for on Amazon. How many tubes of Colgate do you think sell a day on Amazon? Just as an example. And not because people go there to buy Colgate, but they're ordering something. So, oh yeah, I needed toothpaste as well, so I might as well get it at the same time because it'll be here tomorrow, right? Same thing with Kleenex. Kleenex is a huge seller on Amazon. And if you can buy enough bulk of it, you can create enough margin.
It requires significant investment up front, though.
Correct. But for a lot of things, it's not as big as you think, right? And you also have this button or this suggested similar items, other items. So you can find something that is already a great seller on Amazon and have a similar version made in China and sell it at half the price.
Sure.
You're going to get sales, right? Like you just have to do all the marketing work to get it there.
And the shipping and the fulfillment, all that.
Yeah. But I mean, getting it to sell is often the hardest part. It's easy to have something made and brought here. Getting it to sell is always the hard part. It's separating people from their money, right? That's always the hard part.
That is a tough thing to do. All right, one more?
Sure.
It's time for one more?
Yeah.
All right.
I just saw what...
How to start a homemade chocolate business in India. Well, I can't speak to the legalities of that. Yeah. Business idea validation. All right, let's try that. All right, Cfool0505 says, "Hi all. We have built this tool to help you find a feasible and viable business idea." Come on. Please, we also provide initial product support to help you get started. So it's an ad.
Yep.
So go ahead. You got something on this?
Please visit this site that they're advertising.
You really
I'm not going to say
this?
what it is. Just visit it.
All right, let's see.
I want to see what it is, because if it is a tool that literally pulls best-selling...
All right, let's see. Building and growing your business idea.
Mm-hmm.
Get started.
Okay.
All right, I'll get started.
Nope, we're not
I don't
going
want to sign up.
Nope,
done. Bye. You already lost me. I'm not signing up. So you've lost me, guys.
No methodology.
You should allow me to go through the whole process, and then at the end, if I want to give you my information, I will. I'm not giving you my information up front. I don't know you. I don't know what you're going to do with it. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're a password harvester. I have no clue. So you've already lost me. All right, moving on. We'll do one actual one. Debate website idea. Ooh, this could be cool.
Please fill out the survey. Is that what is it? Oh, okay.
Think about creating a website to host debates/discussion among people with opposing views. Imagine Omegle for debates. You can get partnered with strangers who are interested in debating about the same topic you're interested in. There will be a moderator to mediate any inappropriate behavior, but other than that, it will be a simple discussion between two people trying to convince the other of their opinion. Even if that is not achieved, at least we get our citizens engaged in healthy dialogue. There will be many more options like ability to schedule a debate, live audience, debate PowerPoints for those trying to improve, ability to leave reviews on the people you debated, and much more. We talked about reviews.
Mm-hmm.
How do you monetize that?
Ads. Subscription, multiple ways.
You're going to buy that, though?
So,
Joe Schmo down the street.
Yeah, people pay for Toastmaster.
But that's Toastmaster. That's a different story. That's teaching. No.
It's teaching you.
It's teaching you. Right. This isn't teaching you how to debate. It's just giving you the opportunity to debate.
But how do you get better at something?
No, I get that. But what I'm saying, so what is the subscription? Me being able to go on to find a debate partner?
Yeah.
Is that the subscription?
Yeah. Why not?
Oh, I thought this because they're talking about live audiences and things like that. I thought you were talking. I thought the subscription was watching it.
Then you could have.
Although in this country,
this is a members only live, or this is open to anyone live, right? Like it's the same monetization concept as pretty much anyone right now. I don't think this is a horrible idea, right? Like,
oh no, not at all. I'm trying how do you monetize it.
Like gut instinct is, well, this is what people do on Twitter and TikTok and like TikTok Live. For some reason, one of my TikTok accounts became super political. So now every other live that pops up is two people debating politics. Some of them nicely, some of them not very nicely, right? But the difference is one of them is always the moderator. What they're saying is you get a neutral moderator similar to any orchestrated debate where the moderator may even ask questions, right? Like to keep the conversation going. I think for people that want to get into this type of stuff and learn how to properly debate and practice on potentially insignificant topics just to build, or even on topics that matter to them, I think this would be cool. I don't think you're going to get 100 million people to sign up, but you might get a few 100,000 people that would pay $1.99 or $2.99.
I could see it taking it further too, right? So you are there debating, doing what have you, but then you can take those videos, those would be video clips, and then you can monetize those additionally, YouTube, Facebook, what have you.
As long as you have the user's permission to post them, right?
I think you should. I think actually what I think should happen is the whatever the site is owns the rights to those videos.
I wouldn't sign up if they did.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
No, because I wouldn't.
Then why do you use Facebook?
If I go in, I don't use Facebook to debate political ideas.
No, but do you use Facebook at all?
Correct.
Because you don't own your pictures. Anything you post on Facebook, you don't own it.
Well, they have rights to it, yes.
That's what I mean. You don't own the stuff that's on Facebook. You own the original that you have.
Correct.
But you don't own what's on Facebook. They own it now.
Oh, they got that through?
Oh, yeah. They own that picture on Facebook.
Oh, they were trying to resell it. That's where
that was a different story. Yes. Yeah, that was a different story.
But anyway, no. So with something like this, if you wanted to practice going on and debating gay marriage,
yep,
right? And you are a business owner or you are trying to get into politics, not in a million years would you want that video distributed on a public source because you're there to practice.
Yeah, agreed.
Right? So either I pay and my videos stay private, whoever I'm debating, unless we agree to an audience. But you could say any video that goes in front of a live audience or a non-paying audience, those videos could be published elsewhere.
As I see Omegle videos all the time I see them. Right?
I have no idea what it is. I've never seen it.
It's like chat roulette.
Oh.
You know what chat roulette is? Yeah, it's Omegle. Same thing.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh. And I see them all the time on different places, Pinterest, Facebook, what have you. Someone has the right to post that. And I guarantee you, it's not the people getting together saying, "All right, this was good content. Let's get together and sign an agreement and then post it."
It's probably one of the people on it, record it, and then publish it. Right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, someone has the right to do it. It's got to be a one party consent.
It doesn't. Yeah, but in this case, if you really want people to debate and learn how to debate, you can't take the topics that they're debating and just publish them.
Oh, they can't. You're saying that the company.
Correct.
Right. No, well, you could if you have it in terms
but
and conditions.
With something like this, if you really want it to function, and you really want people,
I guess you could have two versions. You get public and private.
Correct.
Right? If you want it to be private, you pay.
Yeah.
If it's public, then
if you want to do a public debate, then that goes on our live public side.
We can put it wherever we want.
But
if you want it to be private, you pay for it.
And then nobody can distribute it. You can't download it.
In fact, there you go. The public ones, no moderator. It's just public. You debate people, and because it's going to be funny as hell, I guarantee you. And the private ones actually have moderators.
Honestly,
in there.
I would do public ones with moderators.
Yeah, but you know how expensive that's going to be.
Yeah,
you need a person there to moderate.
Yeah, but you can limit the number of moderators, so you can just request a time slot to have a moderator.
But if you have 3,000 people all going at the same time,
then book it out in advance.
That's going to be tough. I think the public's.
But
I would keep public open, no moderators, and
until you
moderated.
monetize it enough to justify it. Like, let's look at how many employees did Twitter have before they were purchased.
Oh God, I think like 4,000 more than they did afterwards.
Right, like they were totally.
They got rid of so many people.
They were totally overstaffed, right? But once again, if you can build it to a stage where it makes sense to have a moderator, because there's no difference between a moderator moderating a debate and content moderation, right? Like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But so I think you should do both public and private. Offer to have a moderator. Even you could do a public where you pay $9.99 for a moderator or $24.99 for a one-time moderator.
Wait. What am I thinking here? Reddit.
Yeah.
What does Reddit have on every platform, on every subreddit?
I don't know.
They have a moderator.
Yeah.
Someone has volunteered their time
to moderate.
Yes. So you can sign up as an opposition or a moderator.
Yeah.
And you can moderate, and that'll be funny too.
Yeah. Moderators are going to be
can just be for the public ones. Moderators could just be public moderators who have volunteered their time and want to be a part of the discussion.
And then the really good moderators can
move on to paid services. Yeah, that's how you do it.
There you go.
That's how you do it.
We just solved that problem.
There you go.
I think it's a great idea.
All right, cool.
I like this Fish Thinks.
No, this is pretty cool. This is a pretty cool idea. The debate website. All right, Fish Thinks. Great one.
First comment underneath. Love this idea.
There you go. Is that you? No. So
do the guy a favor. Upvote it.
Okay, fine. There, he's upvoted.
That's a good idea. Like that's a really good idea. I like it.
There's been a couple of good ideas today. Yeah, a couple.
It's unusual.
Especially the pizza vending machine.
Yes.
Really good idea.
Franchise.
Someone should make that.
Franchise.
All right, so I guess that's all the time we have for today. But as usual, it's been a pleasure. And I guess I'll see you next week.
Let's hope so. Unless you're going to go off to Burning Man or something.
That's it. That's the end of August.
You're not leaving on a Wednesday. Like I said, this is now a job. No more vacations on Wednesdays.
No more vacations on Wednesdays. Gotcha.
So now people know when we record this.
That's right.
So,
all right, buddy. See you later.
Okay.